Welcome to the lesson that's going to demonstrate how to improve the writing level of a story using Microsoft Word. The first thing you'll want to do is open up the story titled Worst Day. With the story open, you're going to go to the File menu and you're going to choose Options. When the Word Options window loads, click on Proofing. You want to come down and you want to put a check mark next to Show Readability Statistics. And then you're going to go ahead and close that window, say OK. And now what you're going to do is you're going to find out the reading level of the story. To determine what the reading level of the story is, you would click on the Review tab at the top and then click on the ABC Spelling and Grammar. This is the Readability Statistics window. It will give you the Flesch-Kincaid grade level according to Microsoft Word. It is at 0.9, which is not even first grade. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this story and bring it up as high as possible. So I'm going to say OK to that window. And let's look at the first two sentences to demonstrate how to improve the readability level of the story. I had a bad day when I woke up today. The first thing I would do is I would select bad. Now what you can do is you can click on the Shift and the F7 keys of your keyboard, or you can click on the thesaurus under the Review tab. And then what you can do is pick a larger, more interesting word to describe bad. So we're going to scroll down until we find a word that goes with the type of bad that I'm describing. Here we go, awful, terrible, dreadful. This is the adjective that I'm looking for. So I could click on the little arrow next to appalling and say I want to insert, and it will swap off with that bad. Now if I click on the spelling and grammar, it's going to find that there is an error. You want to fix that error first, and then you can determine what the reading level of the story is. So if this window ever pops up, Microsoft will provide a suggestion. In this instance, the suggestion is correct. So you would say change. And I brought it up by 1 month just by changing that one word. So I'm going to continue to make changes. I'm going to show you a trick that I learned from a student once. This dark, dark, and dark morning. Now I saw the student do this and I'm like, of course you can't do that. That is not good writing. And she says, wait, I have a plan. And what do you think that plan was? If you said to find 3 words comparable to dark, you are correct. So I'm going to select dark. I'm going to click on the Shift F7 key of the keyboard. And I'm going to swap gloomy. And now I'm going to go grab the other dark, and I'm going to click on gloomy to expand the words associated with gloomy. So you can see how you can really expand your vocabulary using this method. So what would be another one? Miserable. And now I'll come here, and maybe I'll click on miserable and choose a word. You want to use a word that you're comfortable with, but it's okay to use a word that you might want to learn as well. After looking at several of the words, I decided instead of using something comparable to dark, I'm going to go ahead and type in frustrating. Because I kind of cheated and read a little bit of the story, and trust me, it's going to be a frustrating morning. So let's go ahead and click on the ABC, and I brought it up to 1.2, so I brought that up by a total of 3 months so far. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to make changes, and I'll be right back. So I went ahead and changed the second sentence. I fell out of my cozy and comfortable bed and hit my enormous head on the antique nightstand that was purchased by my great ancestors from Rome, Italy. So one of the rules of thumb that I use when I do this activity is anytime I come across a noun, I try to be as descriptive as possible because that will definitely up the reading level of the story. So you want to describe what it is. So as you noticed, I described my head as enormous. I described my nightstand as antique, and I also mentioned where it was purchased, which was not part of my story. So the longer the sentence, obviously the higher the reading level of the story. So you can keep seeing I had a bad time finding my clothes. I had a difficult time. Bad is a very simple word, not as descriptive. So I had a difficult time finding my clothes. Well, what kind of clothes? And again, you just want to really make it so that the reader can visualize what's going on in the story, and you will see changes in the reading level. I'll go ahead and click on that, and I did. I brought it up to 1.8 by just a few words. So here are the rules. You can't use words that you cannot pronounce. You have to also know what they mean. A lot of times students will use these gigantic words and they can't pronounce it and they don't know what it means. And also it's difficult to read because it's not really an interesting story. Another thing is you don't want to have too many adjectives to describe a noun. I was reading a story one time by a student where they had something like 10 adjectives to describe a noun. That's a bit much, wouldn't you say? So just stick with 3 on average. And the final rule is you can't do something like the following. I had a student that was able to bring up the reading level of a story within 5 minutes. What he did is he went online, he found a very complicated article. He selected the article, he returned back to this story, and he wrote somewhere where it made sense. And to make my day even worse, I had to read the following article. And then he pasted the article from online. He put quotes around it so he could say, hey, I'm not plagiarizing. But that is one of the rules. You cannot do that. Very clever on his part, but you can't do it. So good luck on improving the reading level of the story. And until next time, have a wonderful day.